The peasant is the kind of guy who procrastinates on his assignments and does them at the last moment. He always wastes time by watching TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels like a dork. And when he finally starts working, he keeps on taking breaks because it's too hard for him to work for longer than 20 minutes. The King. The King is a successful businessman. He makes $100,000 in a minute, but he didn't get here by accident. He worked on his business tirelessly and ruthlessly every day because he was able to trick his brain into loving hard work. When I was telling you about how the peasant procrastinates on every assignment and does them just before it's due, that used to be me. I honestly think that if my parents weren't helping me and always trying to push me to work, I wouldn't do the schoolwork at all. I feel like this is a big problem because when I look at my classmates today, they are suffering from the same problem. They can't focus on their work, even though usually it's not even that long. They just lose their focus in like 5 minutes. Why does this happen? Why is it that so many young people are struggling with working hard and focusing? Bad mental health. Ask this to yourself: how do you know something is hard? Only when you think it's hard. Let me repeat that so you can remember it. Maybe you can even write it down. The only way you know that something is hard is only when you think it's hard. What if you just thought that every task you do is easy? It would probably be easier then. That's why you need good mental health, because then your brain always produces positive thoughts about everything, and every task you do is easy. Last summer, I would honestly say I was depressed. Of course, if you asked me back then, I would say that I'm not, because I was a Sigma male. But in reality, I struggled with every task. Brushing my teeth, showering, even League of Legends, the video game I was addicted to wasn't fun anymore because it was so hard. And when I look around myself, I see many other people fall into this deep dark hole that I was once in. Everyone is on TikTok frying their dopamine receptors to a point that they can't even focus on something for longer than 10 seconds. Now you are thinking, oh, not me, I'm special, TikTok doesn't affect me. Bullshit. You are just as fucked as everybody else. Think about how many times you have scrolled into the comments or looked at other videos. You can't focus for longer than a fucking goldfish. You need to start changing that. You can start by putting this video on full screen and start learning to focus right now. And yeah, it helps the video retention when I tell you that, so it helps me too. But I think you are the one who will benefit from this more. And if you think I'm just trying to scam you into watching this video, then leave. There is no reason for you to keep watching if you don't trust me. The mental health of people is getting worse and worse. I think if you really thought about the people in your life, at least one of them is going to kill himself soon. You might be thinking, oh, my mental health is okay, I'll just skip this part, but okay isn't enough, okay is average. And when your mental health is average, that means that you can only do the tasks that are average. And if you are watching this video, you probably don't want to be average. You don't want to work a 9 to 5, you want to be better, you want to be above average. And when you want to be above average, you need to do things that are more difficult. But if your mental health is average, you can't do the difficult things you want to do. We need perfect mental health so we can work on anything we want without a struggle. So how can you program your mind so work literally feels fun and easy? How did I, a depressed video gamer who struggled with brushing his teeth, turn into the man I am today, who literally enjoys work? How did I improve my mental health? There are 2 habits that I started doing that I want you to get into as well. The first one is meditation. There was a study where they made scans of people's brains throughout the day, and they found that the people were the happiest when they were totally present with no thoughts in their mind. Think about when you were a child and you were playing with other children, playing catch or something, when you were all running, laughing, having fun, there were no thoughts in your mind. You were completely present. And that is what meditation is, it's being present, and when you train this skill of presence every day by meditating, you start being present everywhere. In school, at work, when talking with your family, at the gym, just everywhere. And when you are present everywhere, you become happier, your brain starts producing more positive thoughts, and you start feeling like everything is easier. So how do you meditate? I'm going to walk you through it. We will do a quick 1-minute meditation session. So let's start. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Try to feel your body relaxing with every out breath. Now switch to your normal breathing pattern and focus on how you breathe. Focus on every little part of your body that the air touches, from your nose to your lungs. And whenever your brain generates a thought, which will be often, that's normal, just acknowledge it and move on, focusing on the breath. Okay, and now I'll leave you a minute so you can try it out. Okay, you can open your eyes. Make sure to write in the comments how you liked it. Before we get to the next point, I want to recommend you an app called Medito. It's a free app. I'm not getting paid to tell you about this. I just wanted to recommend it because I use it to meditate every day. And I think they explain meditation really well. There are courses about learning to sit for longer periods of time, about mindfulness, awareness, gratitude, just everything you need to meditate. So I'll leave a link in the description for the app so you can also start using it. Another habit I want you to get into is gratitude journaling. There are other forms of journaling, but I think that gratitude journaling is probably the best. Gratitude is just another form of happiness. It's the ability to be grateful for everything that happens. It's kind of like a point beyond Stoicism. Stoicism is basically not being affected by things that you can't change. And gratitude is not only being not affected by them, it's also being grateful for them. Now you probably think this is weird, and I get it. It also took me some time to really start journaling. I thought it's weird too, because really the only people you see with journals are girls and some soy boys. But trust me, once you start doing it, it will make sense. Just blindly journal every day for 5 minutes. That's literally all that it takes, because it compounds over time, and if you stay consistent, you will see that you have a much easier time doing anything. So how do you gratitude journal? I would recommend getting a notepad with a pen attached to it. You can do it on your phone, but writing it down is, I think, better. So just get a notepad and put it on your desk so you won't forget about it. And every day, whenever you see it, just sit down and write 5 things you are grateful for. Here are some of my journals for inspiration. I know my handwriting isn't good, but it doesn't matter because no one except you is going to read it. So now you can't make the excuse that your handwriting is bad, because it doesn't matter how your handwriting looks, no one is going to see it. Okay, and there's one more thing that you need to start doing to make the work and basically everything easy. I don't really know if it has a name, I just call it habit progressive overload. If you go to the gym, you are probably familiar with the term progressive overload. It basically means that every month or so, you add some weight to your lifts, so you can progressively start lifting more and more over time. And we need to start doing this with our work and basically every good habit. Let's use running as an example. Let's say you just started running and you can run 1 kilometer and it's hard for you. Then you make a goal to be able to run 3 kilometers in the next month. And once you have ran these 3 kilometers, then running the 1 kilometer will be easier. Then you make a goal to run 5 kilometers. And once you have ran these 5 kilometers, then the 3 kilometers will be easier. The same thing with focusing. If you have never meditated or journaled in your life, you can probably focus on something for like 10 minutes. And don't bullshit yourself.
Oh, actually not me. I can focus for 5 hours if I want to. I just don't feel like it, and I would rather go watch TikTok.
If these thoughts are popping into your mind while I talk about this, you are a pussy. You don't even have the humility to admit that you are fucked, and you need help. I'm here literally telling you what to do and how to do it. And some people will still be so arrogant that they won't even try it. Andrew Tate says it, the losers at the bottom are either lazy, stupid, or arrogant. And I don't think you guys are stupid. You are all just lazy and brutally arrogant, and that's why you get bad grades in school. That's why your business you are trying doesn't work. That's why you don't make progress at the gym. That's why you have bad relationships with your parents. You don't have the humility to admit that you need help. Once you realize the truth, that you probably can't even focus for those 10 minutes, and you decide to have some balls and take the hit to your ego, that's when you will start making progress. Once you realize that you ain't shit, that's when you will be able to set goals that you can actually achieve and things will finally start working. I apologize for this rant if it offended anyone, but it's true. Someone needed to do it. Someone needed to slap some sense into you and make you realize that you ain't shit and you need to work on yourself. So hopefully you learned something today and have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.